Hi there, this is Robin Hart with the Home Loans of Hart team of CMG, and this is our weekly video where we share with you some fun little insights that impact real estate and the housing market. Let's dive into rates and see what's been happening for the last 7 days. According to Mortgage Nuggets, the average 30-year fixed rate for the past 7 days has averaged about 6.52% from over. Now, this is reported from over 200 lenders across the U.S. At the same time, the 15-year fixed finally dipped down below 6% for the first time in months, while the 30-year fixed FHA hovered slightly over 6%. And with a slide back in interest rates, mortgage applications have begun to surge on both refinances and purchases, which is great news for both realtors and mortgage loan officers. Now, rates sliding downward isn't the only headline this week. The biggest shakeup in decades has hit the market for thousands of agents. The new rules regarding compensation resulting from the NAR lawsuit and settlement are now upon us. Those changes go into effect officially in 2 days on the 17th. Buyer agents must now disclose their compensation upfront and have buyers sign agreements before even touring homes. Some say flat fee agents and discount brokerages may be the biggest beneficiaries from these changes. The most, however, I'm seeing tons of education and attention to detail from full service realtors. And like Tom Petty's saying, the future's wide open. Let's see what happens. And with the spotlight on agent commissions, we are seeing a downward trend on agent commission compensation. Buyers and sellers are starting to push back a bit more. What this tells me to agents, work on your presentations to your clients for both buyers and sellers. Work on the why you earn those commissions and what all it does, what all you do for these clients. It's a lot. Don't sell yourself short. Let them know what you have done, what you do, and what you will do. They need to hear from it. And in other news, the Wall Street Journal continues its tradition of pointing out tough times. Well, they did it again this week with housing, this time claiming boomers had it bad in the 80s, but millennials will have it worse right now. I personally don't get it, don't listen to it, don't even acknowledge it. I mean, affordability is still there and rates are significantly lower than they were in the 80s. Keep in mind, in the 80s, rates were well over 10%, and we're talking about rates in the 6s and 5s. So I think affordability is still there. We just have to envision. I imagine if you want to see the glass half empty rather than half full, you can always just write for the Wall Street Journal. And great news continues to shine on our economy in the light ahead. Today, they announced that the CPI, which is the Consumer Price Index, just dropped below 3%, reaching 2.9% in July, which is great news and the first time that's happened since March of 2021, which is years ago, guys. So that's fantastic for consumers. Prices may never hit pre-pandemic levels, but the unexpected rise in cost are no longer shooting for the stars. That triple the cost of bacon, it's not happening. And this is important for everyone to hear. Yes, active listings were up by more than 36% in July. That's actually great news. However, we're just now getting back to pre-pandemic levels of listings. That's 5 to 7 years ago. People think on the amount of new home buyers who are coming of age and new home household formations that have occurred over the last 5 to 7 years. Over that period. Just think about the number of babies born in a given year and then multiply that by 5 to 7. My family alone, we have 3 new grandchildren. Guess what? Their families are growing. They're outgrowing the house that they've had and bought just a year ago. We have more families and more children, and yet we're just now getting back to the same levels as 2017. Yep, active market listings are going up. But we still need more homes on the market, especially in an environment where rates are declining, because as every rate declines, more homeowners and potential home buyers are wanting to get back into the market. And the Fed has chosen to stick with the current plan of keeping rates higher for a bit longer. Now, the new play is to anticipate a rate cut in September. However, no one knows how big or small those rate cuts might be. Current anticipation is 0.25%. Some are hoping for 0.5%, and some are really pie in the sky hoping for 0.75. The Fed's preferred inflation gauge ticked up higher in June, and while the CPI and other triggers are showing warning signs. So what that tells them is that inflation is still there. It's still a component that they need to watch. And more than likely, we're going to see a little more of a conservative movement from the Fed. Just be wary that the Fed's typically more conservative on their walkbacks. And honestly, most of the markets have already priced in the anticipated cut of a quarter. So if they do actually cut a quarter, you're not really going to see amazing movements on rates. You might actually see rates tick up slightly. And waiting longer may not be the best long-term plan right now for both home buyers and sellers and refinancers. Right now, sellers, if they're putting their home on the market, they want to move. They might offer up incentives for moving, and it might be better off for you to take a higher interest rate rather than waiting on rates to drop to 3% or lower, which they're not going to drop down to that level. And guess what? Might come out better ahead. All right, so let's have a little bit of fun and get to the fun stuff. Now, this is kind of crazy. This week, just the other day, I had a borrower recently tell me that he was looking for a home where no one even knew he was there. Well, here it is. I can't believe I found it. All right, it's a remote home in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. It boasts of fantastic views and only the occasional ship passing by over the years. Many fans of The Walking Dead have actually joked that it was built for the apocalypse and the eventual takeover by zombies, which I am a fan of the show, but come on, really? Just be leery. You won't be able to get your Chick-fil-A or Starbucks fix while living here. There's no one around for days. And the Olympics wrapped up this past weekend, but this is kind of cool. One of the key successful components of the U.S. gymnastics team they attributed to was their support dog to help calm their nerves, which if you look at those puppy dog eyes, how could you not just melt into them? Now, I think it's awesome and I love it. They came in top dogs at the Olympics and were absolutely amazing. So hats off to the U.S. Olympic team. Now, if only my dogs will work to calm my nerves rather than test them. So, and wrapping up the fun stuff is our favorite meme of the week. Now, the new NAR rules are in effect. Listen, Linda, listen. I can't show you the house until you speak to a mortgage lender or sign these forms. So fun stuff. At the end of every video, we do try to address when is the best time to buy. The best time to buy anything is when there's fear in the streets and your competitors are sitting on the sidelines waiting for the drop back to 3% interest rates. Hence, they're not likely to go and drop anywhere close to that. So best time to buy is now. If you like this video, please follow us on any of our social media outlets. We are on LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, and the artist formerly known as Twitter. I'm Robin Hart of the Home Loans with Hart team, where we are here to help you build wealth through the financing of real estate. Thank you for joining us on this video, and we'll be back next week. Have a great week, and we'll catch up with you soon.